All right. So, hey, what's up, guys? Happy Sunday. Figured we'd do a little bit of a live streaming. I don't have too much stuff to talk about. A couple things. I guess there's the Amazon Prime Day tomorrow. I don't know if you guys have been watching that, but it's kind of one of those things where I do a ton of deals, and I want to keep an eye on any sort of deals that I find as far as radar detectors and dash cams. Anything that's like really nicely discounted. I basically want to keep an eye out for that, and then at some point post a video up. Post stuff up on my website. So I'll kind of be tracking that stuff. I figured it would be a fun thing to do. I want to see if there's anything that I'd want to pick up on. And I also kind of want to keep an eye out on things for you guys. So if I see any good deals on stuff, I'll post some information up tomorrow. Facebook, Twitter, I'm sure it'll be up on the forums. I'll post it up here, website, all that kind of stuff. So that'll be something fun. Yeah, any dash cam deals like the Blackview, that would be cool. One thing that I'm seeing, I don't think it's a, what's up, guys? I don't think it's a Prime Day thing, but the Beltronics GT360, the Beltronics version of the Max 360, that one for some reason, I've done a video about how that one, the price has been free falling. That one for some reason too, like the price continues to free fall. It's now down to $299, which is kind of one of those things where like when the price gets so low, it kind of gets to the point when it's like, how low does the price have to get to where it's like, okay, it's basically a Max 360. I don't like the design as much as far as the physical design. The arrows aren't quite as good, the orange display and whatnot, but for $300, I mean, you're down at the price of like where a DFR7 retails for, and you get auto lockouts and arrows and Bluetooth and all that kind of stuff too, you know? So while I'm not a huge fan of the detector, that price is kind of nice. So I've been watching it. I think initially it was at like, I don't know, $550 or something like that when it came out. It's now $299. I put a link in the video description if you want one of those. That's not really a Prime Day deal, but it's kind of one of those things where I'm like, that's kind of a good price. And so we've actually been having a discussion on the forums as far as, you know, should you get one? Is it worth it? All that kind of stuff. So that's just kind of something interesting to keep an eye out for. Let's see, John Smith, do you have any issues with your R3 locking into the clip? I don't. Let me know what issues you're seeing. Mine's been fine. Any ALP deals? Yeah, I don't think laser jammers are even allowed to be sold on Amazon. That's why you have to go to sites like buying it direct from Anti-Laser or go to like your local dealer or something. Yeah, I don't think they sell laser jammers on Amazon. It's like against Amazon's policies. Yeah, so there's that. There's also the dash cam giveaway that I'm hosting for two of the DoD cams. There's about 2 days left for the giveaway. The RC500S and the LS500W, they're both like high-end 1080p 2-channel dash cams. They're like $300 to $400 each. If you want to enter to win those and you haven't done so yet, I put a link in the video description for those as well. So you can enter the giveaway for that. And then the last thing, I guess, also kind of an Amazon thing. They have this thing where I can put up like kind of my favorite products as far as my favorite radar detectors and dash cams and accessories and mounts and all that kind of stuff. It's kind of a new thing I'm trying out. I've got that linked in the video description too, as a way to kind of like centralize all the Amazon stuff. It's got a lot of good stuff. Some things, of course, like the ALP is not going to be there. The V1 is not going to be there intentionally, even though they sell it on Amazon, because if you buy it on Amazon, it's sold from a reseller. So it's like $480. And it's basically more than full retail and with no warranty. So it's one of those things where, it doesn't make sense to buy it on Amazon. And so while there's products there, you can take it. Oh, no, it's okay. Thanks. While it's available there, I don't recommend putting it, or I don't recommend buying it on Amazon, so you won't see it on the list there. But anyways, that's something there too. So yeah, 30 hours left for the giveaway. Any updates on the V1? No. Speaking of updates, let's cover these real quick. An R3 with arrows? Nope. I know people are going to ask, of course, so nothing to report on that. As far as the latest unit in R3 firmware, we're actually up to firmware 1.43. I know a lot of you guys have been asking, when is 1.40 going to come out? Uniden is continuing to test and develop the firmware some more, and there's been some more changes, and they're continuing to work on it. So we're now up to 1.43. It's still in beta. I don't know when Uniden's going to be like, okay, it's good, it's ready for release, and we want to do it. It's still kind of something in development. It's taking a little bit longer than it typically does. There's a bunch of new features, and they just want to make sure everything is tweaked and working well, and everybody's happy with it. So that's the latest on that. I know a lot of you guys, of course, are going to be wondering about that. Planning of the escort meeting. Yeah, so far so good. We're already talking about scheduling flights and everything. It's going to be August 8th. I'm still nailing some of the details down to do like a whole video on it, but it's going to be August 8th. It might actually wind up not being live. It might be pre-recorded. We're still kind of going over all that stuff. So yeah, basically flying out there, we're discussing like who we're going to be interviewing and talking to. And then we'll do that whole thing, discussing the questions and what kind of stuff they'd want to talk about, what kind of stuff I'd want to talk about. And then we're also going to do a factory tour, which I guess could be kind of cool. Basically take a look at their facilities as far as their manufacturing and their customer service and all that kind of stuff. Could be kind of cool to see. I don't know. We'll see. Any news on Anchor products and Rove? I don't really mess around with Anchor stuff too much. They used to do that, but Amazon changed their policies to where if you get a product for free, you can't post the review on Amazon. And Anchor used to have this policy where they would send out to their power users, is what they call it, free products, and you would test and review and post the reviews on Amazon. But since Amazon changed their policies, Anchor doesn't do that as much. I still really love their products. They're great. Yeah, I've got one of their Rove dash cams. I have the C1 Pro. Josh, you're asking about that. Cool dash cam. I like the VFO A119s better. The video quality, the audio, the form factor, the fact that the buttons are physical, they're easier to press. The touchscreen on the Rove, I would sometimes mispress or inadvertently mute the dash cam, and the memory card is like almost impossible to remove on the Rove one. So I like the dash cams, but kind of some of the usability stuff isn't as good. So I like the VFO ones a little bit better. And I've got a couple of those in my windshield. I'm going to be doing a review of those ones too. But yeah, William, 2 miles from my work. Oh, cool. I'm coming to Westchester, so you're going to be nearby. That'd be cool. Yeah, maybe I'll like grab lunch or dinner with some of you guys while I'm up there. I'm going to be up there for like 2 or 3 days or so. Fly up on the 7th, fly out on the 9th. So I'll have a little bit of time. Be cool to meet up with some of you guys. So that could be an option too. Yeah, so that could be fun. But anyways, let's see. What do you think about the C1 Halo Cam Pro Dash Cam? I'm not familiar with that one. I never heard of it. I know the C1 Pro, that's one I was referring to. I don't know about the Halo Cam. That could be something interesting to take a look at. Here we go. Alan B. I bought 2 Uniden R1s, drove by an LEO the other day running a Spectre. I'm in Ontario and it worked great. Awesome. Good. I'm glad you had a good experience with it. Always good to see, test results and then to see it in action. I know a lot of people are like super concerned about it, or, maybe see different results. Are all the Spectres the same? Are some Spectres more sensitive? Do some detectors leak more than others? It's always good to get as much sample data as possible. So far as what I've seen, seems to be good. And I'm glad to hear the real world experiences match what we see in testing, so that's cool. So yeah, let's see. The Uniden shakes a lot. I'm hoping the 3-section suction cup setup locks in. There could be some vibrations. The detector is kind of light, so it vibrates a bit. When you're driving, it's kind of one of the things I like about the blend mount for the Uniden R3. There's like 2 points of contact. There's the mount, and then there's like the rubber pad itself that holds it in place. And having the 2 points of contact does help kind of deal with some of the vibration issues. But yeah, you will see some of that with the standard mounts. Not a huge deal in practice. It's not going to really affect anything in terms of performance. But yeah, there is going to be some vibration with the default Uniden mount. Best detector I've used. Yeah, awesome. Good. I'm glad you like it. Let's see. Confused about a new high-end dash cam by Edit Voyager. What's the best one on the market? I'm thinking the window tinting thing. I'd like to know about the best high-end dash cam. Yeah, so my personal favorite one is the Blackview DR900S, the 2-channel. It's the one that I'm running. 4K in the front, 1080p in the rear. The parking mode is some of the best I've seen. The cloud functionality, I don't really use it that much, but it's also some of the best that I've seen. There are some issues we're running into, like they're overheating now that it's getting really hot in the summertime. A lot of people are reporting that the dash cam in parking mode is overheating, sitting in a parked car and shutting down. And so the parked recording is not working. So people are running into that issues, but as far as what I'm seeing, as far as my favorite high-end dash cam, that's the one of, as far as that I'm running, as far as my detector of choice or dash cam of choice. And yeah, I've been pretty happy with it otherwise. So I've got it in my website and stuff. You can take a look. It's there. Oh, I guess if you take a look at the link for my favorite radar detectors and dash cams in the video description, there's a link that'll take you to it, and to the Blackview battery and that kind of stuff if you'd like to check it out there. Jordan, what are your thoughts about the Max 360? I've talked about it a bunch. I think it's a great detector. I wish the lockup issues would finally get addressed. I was thinking Escort was going to resolve that a little bit sooner rather than later, but in terms of features and ease of use, yeah, it's a great plug and play detector. Auto lockouts, you got Escort Live if you want it. Arrows are built in. The R3 doesn't have that, So it definitely has some nice things. Escort gets beat on a lot, so there's always that to consider as well. I know they're wanting to improve on that. Escort, kind of their relationship with their customers, and I really hope they make good on that, and it's more than just talk. But yeah, I talk about that detector all the time. Let me know if you have any specific questions, Jordan, as far as like the Max 360. What's up, system? Let's see. My Uniden R3 says I'm going 1 mile an hour faster than I really am. Is that normal? Yeah, so that's interesting. GPS sometimes might be a little bit off. So there could be a couple things. Sometimes if you'll try like running your phone, running Waze or something, and the R3 and see if they match, if they report the same speed. Something you'll find sometimes with the speedometer in your car, depending on the tires that you have, or even from the factory, it's going to be a little bit off. And I think they do that intentionally to like make you think you're going faster than you are, so you intentionally drive slower for safety. Either way, your speedometer is not going to be perfectly accurate, and a lot of times it may be a few miles per hour off, and the difference varies. The faster you go, the more it's off. It's kind of a percentage thing. So usually GPS is going to be the most accurate. If it's saying, if your speedometer says something a little bit different, I would think your speedometer is actually going to be the inaccurate one. But it should be the same as far as any other device. I've tried, my phone and 2 radar detectors and whatever, my speedometer. Usually they're all going to be almost exactly the same. Maybe one is a mile and a half or a mile faster or a mile slower. That's okay. Shouldn't be a big deal, but yeah. Plato went from the B112 to the B124 and loving it. Oh, good. Yeah. I'm really liking it too. I also did that upgrade and I'm liking it a lot better. 43 degrees Celsius is hot. I checked mine the other day and it was like 34 and it's still been fine. One of the things about the batteries, they are designed for like being used in higher temperatures, which is really nice. One of the differences between like one of those portable lithium ion batteries, I've actually kind of been planning on doing a whole video just talking about those, the dedicated dash cam batteries. And yeah, one of the things is they are built for higher temperature usage. Let's see. B. Jarterv 88. Hopefully I said that right. A129 review coming soon. Yes and no. The next review that I'm going to be working on this coming week is for the, what's it called? I've got my laptop sitting on the box for it right here. The Waylens Secure 360, a 360-degree dash cam. Then the A119 series dash cams, A119, A119S, and A119 Pro. And then after those is going to be the A129. So it's literally sitting right over there in a box still. I don't think I've even opened it up yet. So I have the dash cam, but it's not my next one to review, but it's going to be coming. I'm going to be heading out of town in a couple, maybe 6 weeks or something. And I want to get like a lot of that stuff done before I leave. So definitely on the list to do. But it might still be a few weeks out. So what will top the R3? I don't know. We were actually having a discussion about this on the forums about how great detector, and yet there's still other detectors that could be a better choice than the R3. The Redenso Pro M also has great range. It's got better BSM filtering, got the MRCD stuff already, and GATSO detection. It's smaller. Some of the Escort ones, you've got auto lockouts, you've got arrows, you've got Bluetooth. Like the R3, it's a great detector. I don't think it's the best detector for everybody. I think it's a great detector, and who knows what's going to come next. We'll have to see, So wish I had a crystal ball. Okay, keep bugging. Okay, so this is a video I want to do something on specifically. Emmanuel Mata, motorcycle drivers. Guys, keep in mind, what I test is stuff that I can test and use. If I don't ride a motorcycle, I'm not a good person to test motorcycle detectors. I can give you other people's experiences. I can speculate. We could always see a test, as far as, we could do long range testing. I guess we could always add it into a test. That would be cool. I know that's what you're asking about. Somebody could always do it. It's not a huge priority for me. We could just see how it does in testing and BSM filtering, but I don't think that's really the whole story as far as whether or not it's a good detector to choose. I think there's so much more to it that, I don't know. I would really like to see a motorcycle tester test it, or a driver. If any of you guys ride a motorcycle and you'd like to do a review, post it on the forums, post a video about it, post it on your website or wherever and let me know. It's kind of one of those things where like, I'm not a good person to test out motorcycle stuff. And so people ask me all the time and I'm like, sorry guys, I test what I can actually use and practice and give you guys my experience. I don't want to just like read a spec sheet and then tell you just what the manufacturer says, because sometimes that's true, sometimes it's not. I think testing is the best way to determine how products actually perform. And if I can't test it, I can't really share a good experience with it. So yeah, that's why I don't talk about the adaptive TPX and some of the motorcycle specific stuff. But good question, by the way. Thanks for asking. Let's see. Oh, yeah. So you guys are wondering about the R3, why it comes in a case like the R1. If you buy it in Best Buy has an exclusive version of the R3, which is in the same black case as the R1. So you get the matte black look instead of any sort of shiny chrome on top. So if you're wanting a matte black version, it's just kind of one of those things where sometimes a company, if they sell a lot of detectors, they're like, well, we want something exclusive to say, well, you can't go buy it on Amazon. You can't buy it from any other dealer on the internet. You can only get this product from us. And so the detector or the company will make a slightly different version of it, like the 9500iX to S75G, for example. They'll make slight changes. I know they did a lot of variants of the like Beltronics V9095s or whatever those are. Whistler does that, different variants for Walmart as opposed to what you'll see online. So companies do that. And it's the same thing with the black version of the R3. They just took the R1's case and slapped it on it. Now Best Buy has an exclusive version. That's all it is. But features, performance, filtering, everything else, it's all otherwise the same. Best budget 2-channel dash cam that doesn't have an LCD. Need something? Which one?
My computer.
Computer? Okay. There you go. You're welcome. So you could do one of the doesn't have an LCD. Maybe one of the budget Blackviews. There's a ton of with no Wi-Fi. I know there's like the Blackview 450s or something. They're really basic. The quality isn't quite as good as like the 650 or the 750 or the 900, of course. But you can take a look at some of those. They're cheaper. There's no GPS or Wi-Fi or LCD. If you just want a basic thing that records, that's an option that you can consider too. So yeah, that's a good option. Wish Escort Live was free for Escort people. It is? Escort Live? Yeah. By the way, guys, never pay for Escort Live. If you don't have it, then yeah, you need to pay for the subscription. But if you buy a detector, it comes with Escort Live for free, and then Escort continuously renews people's memberships for free, so they don't just suddenly lose like almost all their customer base and their alerts. So you can get it for free just by buying the detector. So yes, Escort Live, there's a fee, but you don't actually have to pay for it, and you shouldn't. So yeah. Any news on the Max 2 update? Yes, I talked about this the other day, David. As far as the new and updated radar detectors, Escort has finally released the firmware update that resolves the not the lockup bugs, the BSM filtering that they've been promising for over a year, however long it's been. I don't know. That's finally available. You can go download it. Last I saw, it's only working on Windows. On Mac, the updater is not working properly. I've seen one or two people that actually got their detectors bricked. So update on Windows, but yes, there is new BSM filtering update for the Max and the Max 2. The lockup thing was only on Mac for the original Max. If you have the Max 2, that's okay for Windows or Mac. Anyways, yes, the BSM filter is out. Sounds like it's working well, and nobody is reporting any sort of lockup issues like what we're seeing with the Max 360 and the 360C. So that's good news. So yeah, system. Will you ever do a review of the Street Guardian dash cams? Yeah, I actually have the SG9663C or something. It was actually one of the first dash cams that I reviewed, maybe like, I don't know, a couple of years ago or something. It was a good one. I don't remember exactly the review. I remember it was good. It was just a little bit bulky, but I've heard good things. I know their CEO is very helpful as far as like being in contact with people. The customer service is supposed to be really good. Yeah, it's an older review. I think that was like the Gen 1 or something. Now they're out to like Gen 3. I don't know the exact changes between the different versions. I think I reviewed the Gen 1 and Gen 2 was out or something. I talked about that in the review. But yeah, here's that. Let's see. The fee for Escort Live covers the updates to the new and deleted red light cameras. Oh, that one, not Escort Live. Yeah, the database. Yes, that one they do charge for. And I think it's kind of funny. Some of my older Escort detectors, like I've got a new detector that I bought, but I can't use the subscription for the new detectors that apply to the old detectors. That's something that they want to keep charging you for, is if you want red light camera database in the detector updated, yes, you do have to pay for the latest Defender database. You can always run Waze. You can always run Escort Live. If you run the app, that's going to go out to the cloud and get the latest red light camera. So if you're running Escort Live anyways, you don't have to pay for the latest updates into your detector. If you're not running Escort Live, then yes, you will need to pay for the subscription. Uniden gives you those for free. Redenso gives them to you for free. Whistler gives them to you for free. Escort charges you for them, but business decisions. Let's see. Is it true that in Virginia and Washington, D.C., you can't use a detector? Yes, they are illegal there. The penalty, it's like less than $100. And I mean, I've heard reports of people who've used them for years, even leaky detectors like the V1, and it's been fine. The penalty is not really that big, and you can run stealth detectors. And it's kind of one of those things where a lot of people do, but speeding is illegal too, but the penalty for speeding is a lot worse than having a detector. So I don't recommend it, of course. Obey the law, of course. But yeah, there's a lot of people that do, and you can always get a stealth detector, especially one installed in your grill, so there's nothing even visible in your windshield. That could be an option if you're worried about it. But yes, it is true that radar detectors are illegal there. Also in like commercial vehicles over 10,000 pounds or 18,000 pounds, and in military bases, that kind of stuff. I forget off the top of my head some of the nuances, but yeah. Let's see. B. James Penrod. When's the next update for the 360? Don't know. We're still awaiting the lockup fix. I mentioned it, I think, a couple minutes ago. I thought it was going to be coming out a little bit sooner just because they've got the BSM fixes for the Max and the Max 2 out now. And now that they have that, sounds like they should be able to translate that to the Max 360 without the detectors locking up, So I'm expecting it fairly soon, but I don't know anything as far as when it's going to come out. Would you recommend upgrading by, let's see, Ashish Paul. Would you recommend upgrading to the Blackview DR900S with the Cell-Link Neo over the F770 with the Cell-Link B? Bless you. Yes. So, whoops. The dog just hopped off the couch and almost knocked over my light here. It's okay, Elvis. It's okay. It's okay. You felt bad. So yeah, it's been a big upgrade. I went from the F800 Pro, which like has more cloud features and that kind of stuff, over the F770. I actually tested the DR750S and the 800 Pro, I think, where recently. You can take a look at my comparison. The 900 takes it a step further. I like the black view better in almost every single way. The video quality, the cloud stuff, the parking mode functionality, the alert notifications when you get back in your car after something has happened, the Wi-Fi, most of the Wi-Fi stuff. So yeah, in general, I like the black view better. And I guess one of the things I like best about the ThinkWare is the fact that it has kind of the low-powered recording stuff. So if you're looking for long-term parked recording, the ThinkWare has longer parked recording and low-power non-buffered recording. But the Blackview, I like the buffered recording stuff. So anyways, take a look at my comparison video. It goes into that in more detail. Yes, I think the upgrade is worth it. That's why I gave away my ThinkWare and kept the Blackview. Just saying, you know. But yeah. Let's see. Commercial vehicles, 10,000 pounds. Thanks, William. Let's see. Do you still daily run the R3, John Smith? Yeah. Yeah, I do. That's my go-to detector. I like to switch detectors every week or two or so. I was running the DFR9 before. We just got a new firmware update to help address some of the lockout issues that detector was having. So now the lockouts are working. So beta testing that one. Now beta testing some of the new Uniden firmware stuff, the R3. Yeah, I run into detectors all the time, but if I need one, because like I actually need a detector, the R3 is the one that I grab. Big fan of it. I love it. Recommend it. Yeah. Jordan, what's the big difference between the 360 and the 360C? Redesigned, but the main thing is the Wi-Fi. So the 360C stands for connected, like connected car. So if you want the Escort Live functionality without relying on your phone to go through your car to your phone's Bluetooth, it can now go out through a Wi-Fi hotspot built into your car. I like the 360C better than the 360, even though I don't have Wi-Fi in my car. And the reason is I put one actually in my wife's car. The reason I did that was when she gets home, the detector will connect to my Wi-Fi hotspot here at home when it's out in the parking lot, and it'll be like, oh, hey, there's a firmware update available. There's a new red light camera database update available. She doesn't run Escort Live. I find too many false alerts with Escort Live. So I just turned it off for her just to like quiet it down even more. And yeah, it's nice to where her detector can update itself, and it's just one less thing for me to have to do. And so that's why I like giving her the 360C. It just makes my life a little bit easier, even though she doesn't have Wi-Fi in her car. I don't have it, but the automatic updates are kind of nice. So that's the main thing. Price is a little bit higher. If you don't need the Wi-Fi, get the Max 360. I think I saw it on Amazon for a little over $400. It was like $420 or something, $430. The 360C has dropped down to $620, $650, something like that. Just take a look in the link in the video description for my like top recommended detectors. You'll find the current prices. But yeah, I think the 360 is the best deal. That's why I'm generally recommending that one. If you want all the bells and whistles and the features in the Wi-Fi, you could step up to the 360C. And it has like a new mount and a couple other things, but really Wi-Fi is the main thing. Okay, this will be a fun question, something a little different. Angelos Likos. What do you think about dedicated KA pop detector so it doesn't slow down the regular detector? Totally unnecessary. Don't worry about pop detection. It's so rarely, like almost never used. Yeah, just don't worry about pop and stuff. I used to do a bunch of tests with like, let me test pop radar. And I would get my, my B3 in a detector and see how well it detects pop. And that was fun just to, learn new things and stuff. But then it kind of got to the point when it's like, well, who cares how well it does at pop detection? It's just not really a relevant or important thing. And I noticed sometimes people would confuse pop detection with reactivity or anything that has to do with relevant performance capabilities, though I stopped testing it. I could do it, but it's just not a big deal. In Nevada, they train the officers to use only pop. They do use pH guns. I'd be surprised to hear if they're doing a ton of pop. Even if they do, you could always turn it on. But yeah, I mean, it's so flat out there. I remember like open road, he did a lot of driving out there. He could pick it up so far away easily. Like if they're clocking people, they could do pop and then switch it into regular instant on and you'll pick up the shot. So if you're super worried about it, you could turn it on. You could get the Valentine one. It has built-in pop detection that you can't turn off and it doesn't compromise the performance. So if you're super worried about it, that's a good detector, but you'll never know if you're actually getting shot with pop versus regular instant on. That detector doesn't tell you the difference. But for the Escort ones, the Uniden ones will do it. Does Redenso, do they have a separate pop detection? I think so. I don't remember, but yeah. Alan B, would you ever still use a red line? Maybe if I had KA band only enabled, yeah. Or I needed like a super cheap stealth detector with KA. I guess it could be useful for that, but realistically, no. So yeah. Is the red line a good detector still? Not really without modern BSM filtering. Again, yeah, if you just need like good KA band detection and BSM or RDD immunity, it could be good for that, but it's discontinued and it's pretty dated at this point. So yeah. Brian, Cyber Monday versus Prime Day. Best day to buy a radar detector? Soon. One save. If you save, I don't know, let's say you get a detector now, but then it's $30 cheaper on Cyber Monday in a couple months or something, you could easily have one save, which will more than pay for the cost of the entire detector. And is it worth to like try to skimp and not have a detector to hopefully save a few dollars? You know, I think it's really, really worth having a detector. And yeah, you can get awesome deals, I'm sure, for Prime Day. They pay for themselves so quickly that it just makes sense to get one. So that's kind of my thoughts on it, but I don't have a crystal ball. I couldn't say, are they going to be cheaper during Prime Day or Cyber Monday or Black Friday or Christmas? I have no idea. So yeah. Oh yeah, the eBay deal. Sometimes eBay does those like 15 to 20% off coupons with no tax. That's cool. That's something you can keep an eye out for too. So different ways to save money. So anyways, I'll keep you guys posted when there's stuff coming out for Prime Day. For tomorrow, I'll post videos and I'll have like on my website a dedicated page that I'll like be updating throughout the day. I'll just be sitting here in front of my computer and like keeping an eye out on stuff and just seeing what pops up. And I'll be updating that page throughout the day if you'd want to take a look. So I'll have that like right on the front page of my website. That's interesting. Alan, Dragon Eye is now used in Newfoundland. Are they the full-size ones, the speed laser ones, or the compact? Looks like you're saying the compact ones. Yeah. Ashish Paul, how do you know so much? I'm obsessed with this stuff and I spend all day long testing it and I love it and I'm crazy passionate about it and I spend my free time researching and learning and testing and discovering and talking to you guys. It's just, I love it and I spend a lot of time doing it. Yeah, just spend enough time doing anything and you'll get to know a lot of stuff. It's not anything crazy, you know? I'm sure you guys know a lot of stuff I don't know. Like you guys are doctors or lawyers, you know more about making beer or building microphones or whatever. Like, you know, you guys have a lot of stuff that you devote your time to. This is what I spend my time learning about. So, yeah. Let's see. No updates as far as the TMG jammer. I don't know. They're still beta testing and developing. I don't know. I'm just kind of waiting on that. Still one of those things where like if you need a jammer, we were discussing this, you know, TMG stuff. Anyways, yeah, we're all still waiting on info for that. I don't really have any updates as far as it seems good in beta testing. We'll have to see what it's like when it finally comes out and it gets, you know, more testing and take a look at the design and implementation and features. And I know they're still trying to figure out who's even going to be the people selling it and what's the price point going to be? How's it going to be packaged, manufacturing, all that stuff still needs to be developed. There's a lot that goes on between like, hey, we have a product and now like, how do we get it to market? So, you know, there's just stuff that's involved there, especially with new products. Timothy, do you make a living just from doing testing and reviewing? Yes, and it's awesome, and it's like a dream come true, and I love it. And thank you to you guys for watching these videos and helping me do this. Yeah, this is what I do for a living full time now. I test stuff, and yeah, pretty much when you guys go to Amazon and you buy something, I make a percentage of the sale. It supports me when you do that. It doesn't cost you anything. If you guys support me on Patreon, that supports me when you do private sessions with me. If you use like the YouTube super chat thing, or even just watching the videos, you know, like YouTube plays ads on there. I make a percentage off that. And I always like to structure it in a way where I'm not financially incentivized to recommend one product over another. Like I talk about this all the time, even things like the Valentine one where I could make money off of like on Amazon. I intentionally don't. I like setting it up to where I can, you know, get paid no matter what you buy, because then it doesn't recommend or it doesn't matter what you buy, this or that. But ultimately, like what matters to me is getting really, really good information out to you guys, accurate, and the money part for me just kind of takes care of itself. And I'm cool, you know, I'm okay. I'd always like to make more, who doesn't? But yeah, I'm happy doing this and it works for me. So I'm gonna keep doing it. And in the meantime, it's my honor to serve you guys. So I'm happy this allows me to keep giving to you guys. So good for me, good for you. Everybody wins. That's what I want. Do you have any opinion on the K40 laser jammer and radar detector system? Which one? The newest one? Maybe the RL360Di? Oh, hey, what's up? Me is my name. Yeah, I'm going to get one maybe around the end of the year, beginning of next year, just to like do some testing and driving with it. Yeah, I just don't think it's like a good value for the money. There's other detectors with give you better performance for less money, I don't think that's like a great choice, and it's a great way to spend your money, to be honest. I don't think it's a terrible product. I'm not a huge fan of the performance from what I've tested. The laser jamming functionality doesn't seem to be as good as advertised. I think there's just other better products out there. And so, yeah, that's not one I recommend. Yeah, but I'll have another one to do like a full review coming in. I've tested the RLS2 or something. The windshield mount has the same performance as the remotes. Definitely less than impressed when I tested it. I've got a review on that if you'd want to take a look. But yeah, I'll be doing some more stuff with the remotes. Joe, do you have a plan to review the new VFO A129? Yes, within the coming weeks at some point. I want to do a lot more dash cam reviews, and that's one of them. The 360 cam, and then some of the A119s, and then the A129 in that order. So that's what you can expect on that. Chris, the Redline EX may not have the greatest range, but it saved me so many times from with no tickets as of yet. That's awesome. Yeah, I think that's something that is maybe easy to forget sometimes. Like you look at a test and you're like, well, this detector performs better than that one. This one that doesn't perform as well, it's a paperweight. It sucks. And it's like, well, it's still going to give you range. It may not give you as much range as another detector, but it still may give you, like you're finding, enough range in many instances to actually do the job. Is it more likely that it may miss a distant shot, especially if there's instant on being used or something? Yes, but in the vast majority of situations, you'll be okay. And so it's kind of one of those things where like you can't make your entire purchasing decision just based on the long range performance and which one is the fastest. PSM filtering, lockouts, Bluetooth, price, ease of use, menu design, reliability, customer service. Like there's so many other aspects of a detector to consider. And that's actually one of the things that makes it difficult to recommend a detector, because there's not just one easy way to like compare them and recommend them. You know, it's always kind of a tough thing to figure out which one is the best and all that. So anyway, yeah. Long lead, best budget-friendly dash cam. Usually the VFO A119s are the one that I recommend. I've got a couple of them in my car right now. I'm testing A119, A119S, and A119 Pro. So I'll be doing a video on those in the coming weeks. But yeah, they're already, if you take a look at the link, and I've talked about it before, but the best radar detectors and dash cams in the video description, go there and you'll find a link to the A119. Man down, if you had to ditch the Mazda, what would be your next ride? So I've actually been looking at that. So I've been looking at an SUV. I'd want something with four-wheel drive, something with more space to install like a metric ton of countermeasure equipment that isn't so cramped as my Miata. Something like a Porsche Macan could be cool. Ford Explorer, I don't know, Hyundai Santa Fe. I'm still looking at them and deciding, do I need third row seats for a family? Basically looking for more room, four-wheel drive. Probably an SUV would be cool. And I've also been looking at grills, like some of the Mercedes ones, for example. They have like the mesh grills that aren't really conducive to installing jammers or radar detectors. So I think I might just wind up skipping, some of those just based on that. But yeah. Alan B, do you use a TX head with your setup? Nope. My Miata is too low to run a TX head, and I don't have Dragon Eyes here, and so I don't really need necessarily the TX head. So no, I don't run one. Let's see. Catch the replay. Do you have your meeting with Escort yet? August 8th is when it's scheduled to be. We're thinking maybe now actually pre-recording it and then not doing it live. We'll see. It could allow for like maybe recording multiple camera angles. I'll be able to switch between it and stuff. So we're still kind of going back and forth on all that, discussing what we want to talk about and how we want to put it together. But the meeting is scheduled for August 8th, and it'll either be live or it'll be up within the next couple days after that. Let's see. LD Good. I heard a long time ago there were radar jammers. Are they still around anymore? Not really. Oh, hey, what's up, Jag? Good to see you. So as far as radar jammers, highly illegal, technically very challenging. And the ones that existed before they got like threatened out of existence by the FCC and stuff, they didn't really work that well. They fall out of calibration. There were just some technical challenges and issues maintaining reliable jamming capabilities. So yeah, it's just not really a thing. I mean, somebody could build one if you had the technical know-how, but they're so incredibly illegal that like nobody is going to do it. So yeah, nobody really does it. And so there's not really anything to report as far as radar jammers. It's just bad news. Cool. Thanks, Cam. Thank you. I have a black VDR 900S. Awesome. Already installed. Any recommendations to record the left and right sides of the car? Already using the cigarette outlet. Really kind of anything. I tried that in my car, but the only place I had to do it in my little Miata, which isn't really good for side mounting, was just like by the rearview mirrors or the side mirrors, and my side mirrors actually blocked it. But it sounds like if you've got the DR900S, you've been doing some research as far as good dash cams. I've seen people just do regular dash cams. You can get another one like a DR750S or something. I got a Tesla Model 3. Does it have side windows that don't go up and down? I've seen something, I think it's the dash cam store or something. They have a thing to where if you have something like a Model S where you know how the windows will go up and down, you can't mount a dash cam directly to the window, but you can actually mount a dash cam. It hooks into like the window trim. I'll have to do something about that. And it hooks onto the window trim. And that way you can kind of like have it always looking out the window without it being attached physically to the window. That small triangular one, yeah, that could work as well. I think a lot of it might come down to like, I don't know how big they are in the Model S. Taking a look at a dash cam that's going to be small enough. When I was messing with it, I was just doing the A119s, 1440p, 30 FPS, reasonable image quality. They're like less than $100. One of the tricky things with those ones were the power cables, either mounting from the top or from the side, just making sure that it doesn't get in the way of anything. You can do like 90-degree power cables. But yeah, as far as that, I'll have to do a little bit of research and find a good option. But you could probably get something basic unless you need something with additional parked recording. Then you could get another black view, for example, maybe like 2 single channel ones or 1 dual channel, whatever, and mount them on the sides. That way you get the additional parked recording stuff. So there's a ton of options depending on exactly what you're looking for. So yeah, maybe we could talk more about that afterwards. But that's kind of my initial thoughts about it. Tesla Model X. That could be kind of interesting. If I was to do that, hopefully I wouldn't get something that has the windshield that blocks radar detectors, because that would kind of be bad for me. But yeah, I'd looked at them. They seem pretty cool, but I don't know if I want to go for the Tesla route. That would be really cool, though. Let's see. Oh, dash cam saved me last week from getting blamed for an accident. I posted the video in case you're interested. I would not have bought it without your advice. Congratulations on getting a dash cam. I know it's such an awesome thing, especially if you're in that situation to where the dash cam like actually saves you. It's like totally worth it. I mean, sometimes I'll run with no radar detector, but no dash cam, I think actually, especially if I'm just putzing around town, just going to the grocery store or something, I would rather have a dash cam over a radar detector. So yeah, I mean, they're a big deal to have. So good. I'm really glad you had one. Oh, hey, what's up? Estraw Cab. So by the way, there's a couple of you guys. Thank you, everybody who has volunteered to be a moderator for my chat. You guys can poke around. I've went ahead and made you a moderator so you can take a look at the stuff. In the past, we've had some characters on the internet who decided to have fun and kind of troll the comment section. So a couple of you guys have offered to like help just kind of maintain that stuff. And a big, big thank you. So yay. Appreciate that, guys. That helps a lot. Andrew, do you think Valentine will ever change the look on their detectors? Gosh, man. We have that. Call me backwards. Okay, I'll do that. Man, there's been a lot of discussion. Every few months, people ask on the forums, what about the Valentine 2? When are the next updates coming for the Valentine 1? We're still waiting on the updates for the display. And yes, there are going to be some changes coming to the display. Search my channel and you'll find information about the patents from a couple years ago that we're still waiting on seeing implemented. New scanning platform. There's stuff that patents are trying to get pushed through and approved, and that takes time. And it just seems like Mike Valentine is getting older now or something. He doesn't seem to be as motivated to update his detectors. He's still like knocking the whole GPS thing as far as lockouts. Yeah, he doesn't have the ability to add GPS to his detector due to patent restrictions. Escort has that patent right now, so he can't do lockouts. And so, yeah, he's just saying, oh, don't do it. It could lock out a police officer. And there's a whole discussion. We can get into that. Just design the lockouts well, and it's not a big issue, and its benefits totally worth it. But yeah, so we're waiting on that. It just seems like he's getting older now, maybe getting closer to retirement. I would love to see him, if he comes out with the Valentine 2, like I'm ordering instantly. I can't wait to get one. I don't know how likely that is. So we're still waiting on that. Team, we're on Uniden. We're beta testing. We're up to firmware 1.43 right now. Again, still in development, still being tested, still being tweaked and adjusted. And so, yeah, nothing to report as far as an ETA or anything. New updates coming for the Max 360. Nothing that I'm aware of yet. Still waiting for the lockup bug fix. Yeah. Any news on the Redline EX360? Nothing that I've talked about. I know sometimes people are like, oh, hey, when you go to Escort, you should ask them about new products. I notice sometimes they're a little bit hesitant to talk about new products until they're ready to like release it on their end. They want to make sure all their marketing and their website and everything is in line before they release it. And it's even one of the reasons why when we see the FCC information posted online, they now actually restrict any sort of information like the manual or pictures of the detector or functionality or anything. So we can't really learn much about the detector other than the fact that like it exists. Like the GT1, for example, we know it has Bluetooth and there's a new detector coming from Beltronics, but we don't really know much about it because Escort is intentionally trying to hide the information before they're ready to release it on their end. And I can't fault them for that. But yes, sometimes manufacturers do want to withhold the information on what's coming until they're ready to release it fully and properly on their end. Sometimes I get information early, but even when I do, if they ask me not to share it, I won't. So I always have to like be very vigilant as far as what I talk about and what I don't. So just to always respect their wishes as far as what's appropriate for them. Let's see. Have you used the Mac yet for Uniden updates, Tennessee Jeff? Yeah, works great. I update all the time. I've been sitting here beta testing and updating the R3, doing it right here on my Mac. It's nice to not have to use another Windows computer. I can do it right from my own. So yeah, it works out great now, and you can finally update the Unidens on the Mac. I feel Escort, so Andrew is saying, I feel Escort has too many detectors and they'll always come out with news too soon. Yeah, they do have a lot. People kind of like give them a hard time for repackaging existing detectors and that kind of stuff. But yeah, I guess they do that to try to appeal to like different price points in different markets and that kind of stuff, as opposed to Valentine, who just has one detector for everything. So different business strategies. Backwards. Has there been any community testing to see if LiDAR-equipped autonomous vehicles are dangerously impacted by parking sensors such as the ALP? Great question. I don't think so. I haven't seen any issues yet. I've always wondered about that. I don't think that would work because the way the LiDAR stuff is working, it's doing like such detailed scanning and sweeping to do like a visual analysis of what's going on. I don't know if any sort of jammer would create like the effect of like a vehicle braking in front of it. I have never heard of any issues. I think that would be cool to test for the sake of thoroughness and safety. I've never seen any report of that being done, but that's a really common thing that people have been wondering about. Yeah. Oh, the Whistler CR97 should be out in less than a month. Cool. I'm sure once it comes out, we'll have some to test. Jag will be testing them. I probably won't. I'm not super interested in that one. I'm sure you will. I know you're a fan of the Whistlers, Jag, and you guys do a ton of testing, and you're awesome. So I'm sure once that comes out, there'll be some testing. The CR95, it's on Whistler's website. No word yet on the CR97, the one with the GPS. Jordan, can you show the difference between the Max 360 and the X70? Wildly different detectors. Is the X70 discontinued? I mean, it's an M4. I don't think it has Bluetooth. Like the Max 360, it adds Bluetooth. It's got a different platform. It's got better BSM filtering. It's got longer range. It doesn't rely on BSRDR. It's got arrows. I mean, they're like such different detectors. Yeah, they're vastly different detectors, even though they both say Escort. It's kind of like a Ford F-150 and a Ford Mustang. It's like they're both Fords, but very different vehicles. Same thing with the X70 and the Max 360. So yeah, from what I've heard, those self-driving cars have a lot of fail-safes. If anything, I would expect it to shut down the laser cruise control temporarily. Yeah, that's a good point. They have to really, really like be careful with that stuff. So yeah. Oh, size-wise. Sorry, no, I don't have any sort of Passport variant, X70, X80, or Passport on hand right now, so I can't do like a size comparison. I may have at some point in an older video or a picture or something, but I don't have one here to show you. I'm sure if you post it on the forum, somebody could, if they happen to have them, they can do a quick side-by-side photo for you or something. But yeah. You guys asking about the Uniden R3 firmware? Yes, so I don't have a lot of details. When it comes out, things are still changing and developing and being tweaked. And once it comes out, I'll have all the information for you, but I don't really have a ton of information for you yet. Let's see. What are you interested in buying on Prime Day? I don't know. Hopefully get a cheap detector or something. That'll be cool. What about you? I'll be keeping an eye out on stuff, and I'll be posting it on my website, YouTube, and that kind of stuff when it comes out. What flaws do ALP and Alpha 15 have? Team AJ, remember that when a product is in development, we don't know yet. We don't know. Things can be changed. The hardware has been changed over the course of the detector. The firmware has been changed based on the feedback of the beta testers. I'm not really involved with beta testing. I'm just waiting for this one to be developed. And so I know you're excited about it, but hold on. We got to wait till the product is released. Once it comes out, we'll have all the information available for you, and then we'll see then. But when a product is being developed, so much is subject to change that we can't really compare it to other products yet. As much as we would like to, we're still kind of waiting for everything to be fully developed. So kind of like a baby that hasn't been fully born. The baby is still really changing in the womb. Same kind of thing with beta testing early detectors, or laser jammers. Do you know if laser interceptor is coming back, Alan B? I honestly doubt it. Yeah, I doubt it. I've heard it's still being sold overseas or something, but they need some improvement as far as the underlying capabilities. It seems like it would need an all-new brain, essentially, to be able to handle some of the newest guns. That was why they kind of stopped being sold here in the U.S., is they weren't able to keep up with the Dragon Eyes. And so they would need a pretty significant update if they wanted to keep up. Any detectors coming out with arrows like the V1 or Escort? Not that I know of. There's some remotes that you can do it. There's the V1 Max 360, Max 360C, and Beltronics GT 360. Those are the only ones with arrows as far as a windshield mount. Remotes, you've got some options. K40, Stinger, Escort, Net Radar, Redenso, they all have options that can do that. Edit Voyager, would you still recommend the DR900S over the 750? In general, yeah, I like it. I have my 750 sitting on my desk over there. Probably wind up giving it away here pretty soon once the DoD dash cam ends. So I've got that one in the video description too. I know I mentioned it at the beginning, but some of you guys have tuned in. Yeah, there's 2 days left for my DoD dash cam, and then once that finishes, I may give it away shortly after that. I may wait and like add it in as do like a end of the year holiday giveaway or something. So I'm not sure exactly when I'll give it away. But yeah, I'm going to be giving away my 750. I'm running the 900. And yeah, I think it's better than the 750. Michael Billig, in your opinion, are the false claims from Rocky Mountain Radar actually working? Do people believe that stuff? Some people do. People believe all sorts of stuff throughout history. I mean, people used to believe, like, I remember seeing some things as far as, people thought eclipses were because the moon was being swallowed by a snake or something. They didn't understand as far as like planetary alignment and shadows being cast by the earth between the sun and stuff. They believe all sorts of like wild stuff over the course of history, and even things that can be very easily disproven, not to get into like flat earther stuff, people believe all sorts of things. And so who's to say? I'm guessing some people believe it. I think a lot of the people posting online are Rocky Mountain Radar employees, and you can tell based on similar patterns and stuff, the way they talk about things. I think they're trying to pose as customers, but they're really employees and stuff. Some of the stories are just like ridiculous, but I think there are some people that believe it. And, I do my part to try to share, like, here's how it actually works. Believe it, disbelieve it, do whatever you want with it, but I'm just happy to share, like, test, share the results, test, share the results, test, share the results. You want to believe it? Don't believe it. That's your call. It's up to you. I'm happy to share. But yeah, some people may believe the Rocky Mountain Radar stuff, and it's unfortunate, doing what I can, but that's on them. So yeah. Let's see. What do you think about the new Beltronics GT? GT1, we don't know anything about. GT7, discontinued. GT360, the price is in crazy free fall right now, so it's $299 for like a 360. That's kind of cool, I guess. So yeah. Let's see, environmental heat. So the DR900S, yeah, people are reporting that it's more likely to shut down from overheating. That seems to be one of the biggest issues. The benefits of the 750 seems to be higher tolerance in hotter weather, which is really nice now that it's summertime and getting hot. And then also better low light performance. Yeah, it just seems to, the Sony Sarvis sensor seems to be doing a better job as far as low light sensitivity than forget the model, the make and model that's used in the 900. But yeah. So cool. Okay, well, I think that's it for now. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Thanks to the moderators for hopping in, and I'm sure you guys have had a chance to take a look at all that. Thanks to everybody for tuning in and kind of hanging out here on a Sunday evening. And yeah, it's been fun. I'll see you guys, I guess, tomorrow for the Amazon Prime Day stuff. That should be cool. And I'm curious to see, I'm sure you guys are too, what kind of discounts and all that kind of stuff we'll have. Hopefully some awesome stuff. That'll be fun. And maybe even some stuff for like around the house. Should be interesting. But anyways, thanks, guys. Hope you have a good weekend, and I'll see you. Hope we can have a good week. I think that makes more sense now that we're into the weekend. Anyways, I'll see you later. Bye.